Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, I'm Dani and I'm the creator of Practical Mummy Loves Luxury. Today's video is going to be about setting up your change area. And here we are in front of mine. For a parent, I think this area is really important because you're going to be having the baby on an elevated platform. So really you need to have everything within arm's reach so that you don't have to leave your baby unattended to walk away to get a nappy or their clothes. For all the products that I talk about today, I'll be leaving them in the description box below. Without further ado, let's get started. So the most important thing clearly is the change table itself. Mine is from Bertini and I purchased it secondhand off Gumtree for 15 Australian dollars. It retails for about 320 Australian dollars today. From my point of view, aesthetics of the change table is not particularly important. I prioritize things like function, safety, and the price. This was one of the change tables that was rated as safe because it's got high sides that make sure that the baby doesn't roll off. And it's also really quite sturdy. And along the lines of making sure that the table is safe, if you're buying something pre-loved, I would suggest going to inspect it to check that it is in good condition before paying for it. This one that I've got here is pretty beat up. It's lost some paint on some edges. And it's got some scratches here and there, and I have to wonder whether some dogs have had a go at it. But anyway, when I saw it, I felt that it was in good condition. I brought it home and gave it a good clean, and it was good to go. Now, if I was unable to buy this change table on a second-hand market, I was not going to pay full price for it. The next best option I found was from Valco, and that retailed for about 100 Australian dollars. The other thing that I really like about this change table is that it's open access all around. Sure, there are those really pretty change tables with drawers, but I think that's too fussy and that's too much hassle. As a busy mom, I would prefer to be able to get to things really quickly. This change table also comes with its own change mat, which is waterproof underneath, like so. I gave the change table mat a really good clean and also purchased new change table mat covers. The ones that I got here are really towely and really cozy. I wouldn't recommend these covers because they're really absorbent and they absorb any little bit of poo or wee that it might have come in contact with while you're doing a nappy change. So every time that happens, you have to change the whole thing. Since I've gotten this one, I've notice that there are some covers on the market that have a plastic panel in the middle, and that one's a lot more convenient to clean down if, say, there was a small amount of poo or wee that has gotten onto the mat. And I'll link them in the description box below. At the moment, how I work around this is I place a Bluey on the bottom part of the change mat. So in front here I have the nappies. These ones are the daytime nappies, these ones are nighttime nappies, which are a bit more absorbent, and over here are her swimming nappies. There are some spare nappies down here. I like to have the nappies out here so that I can reach them really easily, so that I can get her changed really fast, and I restock them on a regular basis. So in this box over here, I just have some spare baby stuff like body lotion, body soap, Blueys, and hand sanitizer, so I can just reach for them when I need them. At the back here, I have my nappy bin refills, and I'll take you through my nappy bin in a minute. On the side, in these two sets of drawers, I have the clothes that she wears on a regular basis, and her clothes are all in the top drawers for easy access. In the bottom drawers, I store toys because they're not so important for getting the baby ready. On this side, I have her nappy bins. Now, this bin over here is just a regular pedal bin. And we throw her wet nappies in this bin. We throw her dirty nappies in this bin over here, and this is the Angelcare nappy bin. So this is a special nappy bin. It is special because it contains odors. It has a one-way valve right there. So you can throw your nappy in and shove it in, and the valve will close up to contain the odor. I'll show you how to change it as well. So you'd open up the lid like so, cut it off at the cutter, and you would tie a knot. And those are all her dirty nappies. Now you would tie a knot here, tight, nice and tight so the nappies don't escape. You would extend it down to the base of the bin and shut it. And that's all done now. I've just washed my hands after handling that. So the reason why I have separate bins for the wee nappy and the poo nappy is because the odor from the wee nappy seems to be containable by a regular pedal bin. However, the poo nappy, not so much. The Angelcare nappy bin refills tend to be on the expensive side as well. So they are these ones that I showed you earlier on. For a pack of 4, they cost approximately 60 Australian dollars. I managed to get these ones for a much cheaper price at Baby Expo. So if you intend on using this nappy system, I would suggest going to get them at Baby Expo next year. At some stage later this year, I will be doing a video on how to navigate and to get the best deal at Baby Expo. Baby Expo runs about in April every year, except for this year, obviously, because of the pandemic. But I'm pretty sure it'll be up and running again next year. So keep an eye out for that video. And over there in that corner, you'll see that I've got a laundry basket so that it's easy to just throw her dirty clothes in the laundry. Just like that. Yes. And last thing I'm going to show to you is my Nappy Caddy, and that's sitting up there over here. So this Nappy Caddy is from Kmart. It holds a few of her nappies, some nappy wipes, nappy cream, sunscreen, moisturizer, hand sanitizer. And I store it right next to the change table. I think this is super handy because it keeps everything for nappy changes in the one place. The other thing that's really handy about this is if you decide to change your baby in a different part of the house, you can just pick this up and take it to wherever you need it to be. Hi guys, I'm back in a different view. After I edited the original video, I thought there was more information I could have shared with you, and I thought I would do this top-down view because you would get a better close-up, especially when some of these baby items are quite small. So first thing I'm going to start with is I'm going to talk about some nappies. So I've got Polly here. Polly is quite a small doll. She's not reflective of the size of a real normal weight newborn. However, if I got a larger doll, that doll's not going to fit into frame, so Polly will just have to do. Here I have a pull-up nappy. And Polly's got it on. Obviously it's a bit large for her, it's coming all the way up to her neck. But anyway, so in terms of the pull-up nappies, you can tell that this is the front and this is the back. And you can tell that it's the back by this tab that's over here. In order to remove it, you can rip the sides just like so. This is very handy to do if the baby's done a dirty nappy, because obviously if they've done a poo nappy, you don't want to pull it down and have all their poo drag down their bottoms and down their legs as you remove the nappy. So you can rip it off just like a regular nappy, and you've got all that poo wrapped inside. You can roll up that nappy, and then there's this tab right here that you can unpeel and stick over so that the nappy doesn't unravel. Earlier in the video, I also talked about using a day nappy and a night nappy, and I thought I would talk a little bit more about that. So we have here a size 5 and a size 6. So the sizes on the nappies are guided by the weight of the baby. So for my daughter's weight, she is a size 5, and I use the size 5s for daytime. I can change them on a regular basis. I would use one size up for nighttime, because the larger nappies have a larger capacity to hold urine, so she doesn't leak out of the nappy overnight. And by doing this, it has saved me the trouble of waking up every few hours to change her nappy. So yes, this is one hack to save you sleep. So I thought I'd give you a close-up of my Nappy Caddy as well. So here it is empty. It's a little bit dirty, so sorry about that. This is the one that is from Kmart. It has 2 main compartments and it's divided by a handle. I think the internal structure of this box is made of cardboard or some sort of plastic. There is a slip pocket over here, and there are a couple of pockets up on one side and a couple of pockets on this side as well. So lots of options. In terms of the baby wipes, these ones are just from Coles. I think they're just okay. I don't mind them. I have not used any other brands, so I can't compare these to any other brands. In terms of what I use on her bottom, I do use a few different products. I do like Nappy Goo, which is a nappy cream. And I also use a Sudocrem, which I don't have any right now. Sometimes I would also use Lucas Paw Paw Ointment, and I find that can be very soothing for a rash. Here I have baby powder. Now, I just want to make a disclaimer about baby powder because this is a personal concern of mine. There has been reports that baby powder is linked to ovarian cancer in the long term. So adult women who had baby powder applied regularly when they were little babies have developed ovarian cancer in their later life. This is not very strong evidence, but because of some potential association between baby powder and ovarian cancer, I try not to use this too often. I find sometimes when the rash is really bad and it needs to be dried up with some powder, I do use the powder, but I only use it very sparingly and only when it's really bad. So I just thought I'd point out that I don't use this regularly, but I will leave it up to you to decide how you use baby powder. In terms of lotions and potions, I'm not particularly fussed as to which one I use for my daughter. This is the one that we're currently using, but we do use all sorts of different brands. If I get free samples here and there, I'm happy to use them as well. In terms of baby products, I do find that it's much more functional to get bottles that have plungers because you can really then just get the product with one hand, by pushing down on the plunger. So for example, I got here a bottle of lotion for stretch marks. I will need 2 hands to open this. And if you're a very busy parent, you really want to make sure that you can use all your limbs as efficiently as possible. So with anything, shampoos, lotions, hand sanitizers, it is always more handy to get one that has a plunger function versus a twist lid or a pop open lid. As I said, I also have hand sanitizer in her caddy. Again, I'm not particularly fussed about which brand I have. I also have sunscreen, and again, this is just a random brand that I've got. So I'm using Cetaphil Sun Kits at the moment. Here I've got a Bluey. It is essentially a continence product that can be used for adults as well, but I use this for my baby. So it is paper on one side and plastic on the other. And this is what I use to place on her change table mat to catch any wee or poos. I also carry this in her nappy bag for times when I might have to change her on a dirty surface. I use this to line the floor, and if it got very dirty, I would just dispose of it. You can buy Blueys in large volumes, and I will leave the details in the description box below. Moving on to my favorite product. Here I've got some baby suits. So this was one of her very first outfits. I think it's super cute. What I want to point out is that these are button snap closures and they go down 2 legs and up the front here. They are also completely closed-toed and they have regular sleeves. So although I think something like this is completely fine for a baby to wear, I think it's really attractive as well. The more functional, practical option is this. This is for size 12 to 18 months. I've already gotten rid of her really tiny suits. But anyway, I'll take you through this. So this is the Wondersuit by Bonds. I think this is one of the most amazing inventions. Hats off to the person who came up with this idea. So I think the Bonds Wondersuit has a lot of advantages over other suits, and I'll show you why. It has a 2-way zip. So it zips down this way. So it has a zipper pull right here as well, which means that you can unzip it in that direction. And you can even unzip it just halfway, and this is really, really convenient for nappy changes. And the zipper function is also much quicker to pull up and down versus the snap buttons that I showed you before. The other issue with the snap buttons is that it's very easy to get the snap buttons mismatched, and then you kind of have to do it all over again when you realize that you've misaligned them. So yes, the zip function is amazing on these suits. The other thing that's really good is this function. If you can see here, that's the pant sleeve, and there is a little compartment here that folds over. So this is called a fold over sock. I've gotten Polly here to volunteer again. Thank you, Polly. And here Polly is wearing the Wondersuit, and that's her foot that's come out the end of the foot sleeve. So if I wanted to cover her foot because it was a very cold night, you would grab this panel and just turn it over. And now her whole foot is enclosed. In this specific Wondersuit, because it is for a bigger baby, the Wondersuits for the older children don't have the fold over mitt function. However, for the newborns, there's exactly the same feature on the sleeve, and you can fold it over just like I've done over here. This means that you don't have to buy extra mitts and extra socks. And I'll tell you that mitts and socks get lost in the washing machine all the time. It is very frustrating, and I find this feature in the Wondersuit super practical. So I highly recommend the Bubs Wondersuit. Now the other thing I want to point out is you note that this one is just a fixed sock, and most other brands that I've come across, their suits only come with fixed socks versus a fold over sock. In terms of development of the baby, when they're not asleep, it is best to make sure that their hands and feet are exposed. So the Wondersuit also enables that versus any other suit that has a fixed sock like these. The other reason why I think a suit is also much more practical is because when your child is really young and you put them in a two-piece, when you carry them, their top will ride up their back and then their back will be exposed. When the suit is all kept in one piece, the child is always completely covered. And I personally really like that function. So that's all the stuff that I use, but obviously it is up to personal preference as to what you like to put in it. Some other people also put in things like cotton balls, tissue paper, handkerchief, and baby oil. So that's all I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed that video. If you have any questions or comments, please leave it in the box below. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe and click on the notification bell so that you get informed every time I upload a new video. And once again, thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in my next video. Bye-bye!